All things,
No,
basically.
no. Function is not the essence. You really are mixed up
Wait,
about the
hold on.
function.
Wait,
Function doesn't mean essence. Function means, for example, you as a human being, you can work as basically you can be a father, you can be a son, and you can be a husband. These are your three different functions. Are you with me?
functions can also.
Listen, listen, listen. You need to understand the difference between functions and essence. But at all the same time, listen, listen. You need to let me finish, so you understand what I'm trying to get at. Because you work as a husband, not work. You basically play a role, or your function as a husband, son, and father. The fact remains that you're still one person. Yes, and you still are a human being. Your essence doesn't change. Your essence still remains that one person as a human. But your roles are different now. You see what I mean? You have three different. So your functions, do not mix up the functions with the essence. So the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit,
So
yes, they, wait, wait. Let me finish. The Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, they have different roles, different functions. However, according to your creed, they are co-substantial, which means they all have this are made of the same substance.
divinity.
In terms of divinity, you're right. They all three of them have it. But in terms of the other nature, which is an additional nature, which was added onto the second person of the Trinity only, it is an additional nature, not function.
I was going to say,
Yeah, do you understand the difference between function and nature
I'm,
now?
I understand, but I disagree.
Which part do you agree about the nature and the function? Tell me the difference that you know. What is the difference between a function and a nature in the case of the humanity of Jesus Christ?
Okay, so in the case of Jesus Christ, a
In the
function,
humanity, in his
humanity.
humanity. We already have agreed that in terms of the divinity, they all have a divine nature. That we don't need to dispute on something that we already agree
I
upon.
agree.
When I say I agree, I means I agree that your creed preaches this. Not as a Muslim, I agree. Okay.
Yeah.
As a Muslim, I don't believe that the Son is God and the Holy Spirit is God and all that. But as you're a Christian, and based on your Trinity, you believe that they are co-substantial. So now you need to explain to me what do you understand by the nature, the human nature, which is where the dispute is, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
we already have agreed that
Yeah.
the three have divine nature. But there is an additional nature, which we have already agreed so many times now. This additional nature is not his role. This additional is his nature, his essence. That's why they're called the hypostatic union. He has two natures, divine and human.
I agree.
Yeah, we're not talking about the roles here now.
Yeah. Okay. I want to go back to function. Function explains role,
Yes.
and it can also explain nature. It explains both. It
Okay, give
does.
me an example of a difference, sorry, where the function is the essence.
Okay. What's the difference between an action and a function, basically?
An action.
Sorry, not action. I mean role, role
It's the
and
same.
function.
It's semantics. Yeah,
It's
it's
not the same.
semantics. Yeah. In this
In,
in this context, it's
in
semantics.
the absolute semantics,
Yeah. But nature is
role,
different, bro.
role. I know it's different.
Yeah.
Nature's different from function. I know that. I'm
Thank
saying,
God.
I'm saying the role
Yes.
only explains on what they do. The nature is what they have. The function it can explain what they do and what they have. That's why I said it's the foundational point. So when
Okay.
you're talking about Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
you're talking about his role and his nature. That is his actual function. He's different by function. And the Father and the Holy Spirit would be same in function, but they're even different in function in the sense of the roles they do.
Is it
So
different in nature?
they're the same in
No, no. The Son is it
yeah,
different in nature to that of the Father and the Holy Spirit?
the Son.
Nature. I'm only talking about the nature. Forget about
The,
function for now. Just talk about nature.
the nature, divine nature, no. Human nature, yes. I
So there
agree.
is a difference.
Yeah, of course.
At least in one nature, there is a difference.
In one, yeah, of course. I
Which
agree.
means Jesus has a dual nature, and the Father and the Holy Spirit have a single nature.
Of course, I agree.
Okay, so there is a difference in nature. Do you acknowledge this?
Yeah.
Good. Which is
Wait,
what
hold on. Difference
in
in
nature
nature. Oh, as in you're saying the Son and the Father don't have the. Yeah, I
have the
agree.
human nature. Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
So do you and I agree that they are not co-substantial?
Co-substantial. Um,
Because
because
co-substantial means they have the same nature,
because
same substance.
because the Son, because the Father and the Son. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can say yeah.
Okay, so your creed is basically telling you something which the Son is not.
No, because it's talking about the divine nature. Then that's what it's talking
Where
about.
does it say only divine nature? It
Well,
talks about co-eternal,
yeah.
co-substantial,
Well, they are co-eternal.
and and co-equal.
They are co-equal.
They're not
They all have-
co-equal.
Yeah, because they all have divine natures.
Okay, how are they co-equal?
They have divine natures.
Does the Father have the nature of immortality?
Of course.
Does the Son have the nature of immortality?
course.
So who died on the cross?
Jesus died on the cross.
Which nature?
His human nature died on the
Okay,
cross.
is the nature attached to the person or is it distinct from the person?
Well,
Nature
Yeah.
of any being, is it
Oh, no, no,
is it attached to a person
Yeah.
or is it distinct? Is it just like aloof in the air or something?
It's attached.
It's
to
always attached to a person.
Yeah, of course.
So the mortality
Yeah.
and immortality
Yeah.
are the natures.
Of course.
Okay? Immortality exists with the personhood of the Father. Okay? So the hypostasis, his person.
Jesus was divine by divine nature.
Hear
His
me out.
human-
Hear me out. Hear me out. When you say Jesus
Yeah.
was a person,
Yeah.
the Father is a person, the Holy Spirit is a person.
Yeah.
Remember, the natures are attached to each person.
Yeah.
Okay? The Father, he never died.
Yeah.
The Holy Spirit never died.
Yeah.
Okay? Which tells us that the Father is immortal, the Holy Spirit is immortal.
Yeah.
Now the person, remember, who died on the cross? Did the nature die or did the person die? Remember the formula? Nature is always attached to a person.
Okay, so this is how it works. I'm gonna answer.
Yeah, it's okay.
The
Give him a chance.
The person of Jesus Christ. I think you're taking the concept of person a bit too literally in that sense.
You have to. There's only one person, right?
Yeah, there's one person, but the divine person of Jesus Christ did not die.
So how many persons?
The human person of Jesus
How many
Christ.
persons are in Jesus? When you say the divine person and the human person, you are committing the heresy of Nestorianism.
I'm not saying
Sorry,
Nestorianism.
of Nestorianism.
I'm not saying
Where you're saying there are two persons. Sorry, two persons within Jesus and only one body.
No, I'm not saying that. So
Then what are you saying?
don't confuse person, because it's a little bit different.
Okay, what is person in that context?
In that context, it's,
How many persons is Jesus Christ?
Jesus is one person.
How many persons is the second person of the Trinity?
The second person of the Trinity, yes, like I said, one person.
One person. Okay, how many natures does the second person of
He has
Trinity
two
have?
natures.
Okay, so which person died on the cross?
You're saying which person died?
Of course, there's only one person, right?
Yeah.
Which person died?
Jesus died on the cross.
The second person of the Trinity died, right? So how many persons died? One person died.
Hold on. The confusion is the divine. I am answering.
Patience, guys, patience.
Did
Yeah.
the divine nature die?
What did I tell you earlier?
Hold on.
No, what did I tell you earlier? The nature is always attached to what?
The person.
Thank you. So when I asked you which person died, it was a very simple question.
Hold on.
So his nature died too.
Nobody, you might have a kind nature, you might have a generous nature, you might have a bad nature. When you die, people are going to say,
Can I
the
explain?
person Emmanuel died,
Can I-
not your natures died. They're not going to speak like that, are they?
By the way,
Yeah.
I'm asking you, did the divine nature die?
Did the divine nature die?
Yeah.
Okay. Is the nature attached to the person?
Wait, hold on. Just
No, you need to. You know why you're asking this question? Did the divine nature die?
Yeah.
Because you somehow think the nature is a person. The nature is not person. The person has natures.
okay.
You're thinking it the other way around.
Wait, hold on. The person of Jesus Christ can die, but because he has a divine nature, he cannot die. So this is what I'm trying to tell you.
You're separating the nature from the person
I'm not
again. Yes,
separating
you are.
I'm not separating the nature.
Okay,
Wanna get involved? Like,
guys, wait. We're getting there. We're getting there. Emmanuel can be a bit slow, but he gets there eventually. Okay, so Emmanuel, once again, let me ask you this. Let me rephrase the question. We got the first person of the Trinity. The second. Wait. Listen to the question. The first person of the Trinity, the second person of the Trinity, and the third person of Trinity. So you got the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. How many persons? Three persons.
I get that.
Okay.
I don't
Now,
wanna
no. It's very important you understand this. Did the first person of the Trinity, who's the Father, did he die on the cross?
He didn't die.
Okay. Did the third person of the Trinity die on the cross?
No, he didn't die.
Did the second person die?
Yes, he did die.
Okay. So somebody died from the three, right?
Yes.
Who was that?
The son that died.
The second person of the Trinity.
course, yeah.
Okay. So who's mortal?
Who's mortal? The divine nature of Jesus and the Father and the Holy Spirit.
You see, you went to nature again.
Yes, of course I went to.
You know why you went to nature?
Why did
Because
I?
you cannot comprehend that nature is attached to the person.
I'm not denying that.
You cannot.
Yeah,
Either you do not comprehend,
Yeah.
or you somehow, because of your cognitive dissonance, are unable to acknowledge and accept it. You see, you said it very clearly. The second person of the Trinity died. When somebody dies means what? Is he immortal or is he
That's
immortal?
why I asked you earlier, but I don't know.
No,
why.
answer the question.
What?
When someone dies,
Yeah.
is that person immortal or mortal?
It depends on what you mean by immortal.